The Wrexham football team have surged in popularity since Hollywood backers Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney took ownership of the Welsh club in 2020. Their marketing power, a television series and fantastic results on the field have all added to Wrexham's success. Now, they've partnered up with the billionaire Allyn family from New York to buy into the local beer brand and export it to the world. I speak to the CEO of Wrexham Lager, James Wright.
The matter of fact, the fact that we have a brand that's already starting to get some fantastic distribution, and we've now gone into Australia before this deal was done. The fact that we've got these co-owners coming on board, being Rob McElhenney, Ryan Reynolds, and the Allyn family, what that enables us to do is really maximise exposure in part of our plan for export globally.
Okay, have you met Ryan and Rob yet? And how important will their marketing power be for brand recognition?
Yes, I'm very fortunate to have met them, and what it does for us, it gives us a fantastic springboard and create awareness in certain parts of the markets that we probably wouldn't get that penetration without a high spend in marketing.
Just give us a sense of the brand itself. You're the oldest lager brewery in Great Britain, and it seems like you had a bit of history in Australia too. Just explain the beer brand's history.
Yes, well, the brand was established in 1882, so it's actually the oldest lager brand in the UK. But at the time, ale was more the predominant brand. So Wrexham Lager did very well in London. It was in a lot of the main hotels like the Savoy and Harrods and a lot of the gentlemen's clubs. But also it was very fortunate to go with the British Army and a lot of the traders whilst it was going around the world. Hence the reason why the first record we have Wrexham Lager was in the Brisbane Courier in 1896, and then the Armadale in 1884, talking about Wrexham Lager first hitting the shores of Australia, being tasted against German competitors and actually coming out on top.
Okay, so now you're selling a beer in Australia. We have a lot of lagers here. VB, 2 East New, 4X Gold, Great Northern, Mountain Goat. How are you going to try and carve out the Wrexham brand here?
Well, the plan is we're being very fortunate that in an Endeavour Group, Dan Murphy's have listed the brand nationally. So that gives us the most fantastic platform to really make the brand accessible around the whole of Australia. But what we're going to be doing is a lot of PR and marketing around the brand, talking about its heritage, talking about its footprint around the globe. So not only Australia are about to go live in North America and Canada and the US, a lot more countries in Europe will be taking the brand on. And, we're slightly a bit different to some of the lagers because we actually lager or condition it for 4 to 6 weeks, which gives a much more of a mouthfeel. We believe the brand looks fantastic, but we also think when you actually try it, you'll come back for more.
Now, do you only make lager or have you branched out to other types of beer as well?
We only make lager because the Roberts family that own the business, it's all about quality and consistency of the brand. So literally, they only want to focus on 3 brands. We have a 4% lager, which is available in Australia, and then we'll be looking to launch a Pilsner down the line, and we have an export at 5%.
Okay, and the brewing operation itself, how large is your capacity and how much pressure is your supply chain under right now with rising input costs and the soft economic environment?
Yes, well, the supply chain is always going to be an issue, and in Europe we've had a very wet summer, so that's going to put pressure on our grain being more expensive. But yes, the brewery is now actually increasing in capacity. We've actually just put some more vessels in to help us with that. But the plan is to build a brand new brewery that will hopefully open by the end of 2025 in the centre of Wrexham.
And have you noticed changing consumer tastes when it comes to alcohol? Are consumers drinking less these days, being more mindful of the alcoholic percentage in their beer?
I think we're seeing a shift, and this has tended to happen globally, that people are going to a more price-sensitive brand. We're seeing a shift from spirits into long drinks, which obviously lager and beers fall into. And we're definitely seeing a shift in people drinking more lager. Same with the UK, Australia and the US.
Well, this week the UK government has announced some changes to alcohol duty taxes. Will that affect you at all? Is this good news for beer brewers in the UK?
when it comes to duty, it's always a complicated thing because it's very hard. There's so many costs involved. Main ones being obviously raw materials, and also with sort of duty changing fluctuation, it makes it quite unstable. Obviously, there was a duty rise yesterday within the UK. But globally, we just have to flex depending on the market, and it's making sure we have the right price points, and we make sure that we put ourselves in a very competitive state within any market we go into.
And how much of your success as a beer brand depends on the success of the football team and the TV show itself?
Well, they go hand in hand. The brand, we've started getting distribution within certain markets already with some of the history, because a lot of people, like say in the US, like the fact that we used to be on the Titanic, and the history that goes back to the 1882, ticks a certain box. But then there's also quite a lot of people that are into the football, soccer. So that actually creates that awareness. We have this this TV series called Welcome to Wrexham, which has over 162 million people viewing that program through Disney Plus. That enables us to have awareness around the brand. So naturally, that's going to help. But what's really important is that even after that, we need to make sure we have the right credentials and the right strategy to make sure we have a sustainable brand build within any market we go to. We're looking to build a brand long term. This is not about moving bottles just on the shelf. It's very much about creating a brand within markets. And that's why, over the next few years, we want to be the #1 British lager brand in Australia, but we'd also like to be in the top 7 brands in the next 2 years for imported brands.
And the actual football team, how have they been going this season?
Well, they're second in the division at the moment. They've obviously gone up, a couple of times already. So, it's, as we say, never underestimate anything from Wrexham. So, the fact that we're actually the stand sponsor, we have very clear and integral links with the football club. And now that both of us sit under this Red Dragon Ventures corporation around this deal, that means we can work hand in hand and dial up each other's brands depending where they're required.
And the backing from the Allyn family, are they going to be quite involved with the whole business as well?
Yes, they're going to be very involved. I was very fortunate to meet them a couple of weeks ago, and they're very keen to be very hands-on, and that's fantastic. At the end of the day, as I always say, we're not selling nuclear atoms, we're selling liquid in a bottle, and it's about having fun, and let's not make it complicated. So really, this is about having an exciting journey, bringing the brand and the history to different markets, and really working with our key partners in each market, how we actually dial it up. We're very, very fortunate within Australia to be working with Hawkesbury Brewery, and they're very much on the ground, really building the brand for us in market with their marketing team and their sales teams, supported by the marketing team back in the UK.
And just quickly, how much growth are you expecting over the next couple of years for the brand?
That's very much finger in the air. The priority over the next couple of years is distribution points, especially when you actually look at the way the marketplace is at the moment and how competitors set, especially the big boys are actually looking to actually get more and more distribution. We're not going to get involved in the price war where people are actually, literally racing to the bottom. It's making sure that, one, the brand has a very clear strategic footprint, what we're looking to do over the next 3 years, and very much making sure that we target the right distribution points to get that visibility, to actually get that purpose, and make sure we put the right marketing behind the brand to make actually, one, the consumer aware of us, but also engage with what we're doing as a brand.